Does walking into a garden center make your head spin and your wallet clench? You see walls of shiny, expensive tools and think, do I really need all of that to grow a few tomatoes? I'm here to tell you the good news, you don't. I went on a mission to see if you could build a solid beginner's toolkit for less than the price of a fancy dinner. I bought 10 of the most recommended tools and every single one cost less than $10. In this video, we're going to unbox them and see if they can actually handle the work. Let's see if we can start a garden without breaking the bank. 1. Hand trowel. First up, the undisputed MVP of any garden bag, the hand trowel. This one set me back just under $8. A good trowel is going to be your best friend for so many jobs. It's perfect for digging little holes when you're planting herbs or moving seedlings from their starter pots into the garden. It's also a champ at popping out stubborn weeds, especially in containers where a big shovel would be like trying to park a bus in a closet. Now, a little pro tip, look for a trowel that's made from a single solid piece of metal like stainless steel. The cheaper ones where the handle is just stuck onto the blade, they have a nasty habit of bending or snapping right when you hit tough clay soil. This one also has a comfy grip to save your wrist, and see these little markings. Those are for getting your bulbs and seeds planted at the perfect depth. So for our test, we've got a patch of pretty compacted soil. How fast can I dig a 6-inch hole? With the trowel, the soil gives way, and I have a perfect hole in about 10 seconds. Now, with just my hands, well, it's slow, it's messy, and I'm barely scratching the surface. Look, you could use an old spoon from your kitchen, but a real trowel is a massive upgrade that will save you so much frustration. This is a non-negotiable must-have. Number 2. Pruning Snips shears. Next, we have a tool you'll be reaching for almost as much as your trowel. A good pair of pruning snips. I've found these little bypass shears for about $9. These are absolutely critical for keeping your plants healthy and looking good. You'll use them for trimming off dead or yellow leaves, harvesting your herbs and veggies, and for deadheading, which is just a fancy word for snipping off old flowers to trick the plant into blooming again. You might be thinking, can't I just use my kitchen scissors? In a pinch maybe, but these are designed for the job. They're bypass pruners, meaning the blades slide past each other for a super clean cut that doesn't crush the plant's stem. A clean cut helps the plant heal faster and keeps diseases out. The other kind, anvil pruners, are more for crushing through dead twigs. For our test, we're snipping some cherry tomatoes and trimming a basil plant. The snips make a perfect clean cut right at the stem. When I try to just pinch the basil off with my fingers, the stem tears, which can really stress the plant out. These little snips are nimble enough to get into a dense plant without accidentally hurting its neighbors. For under $10, this is a fantastic investment in your plant's future. Number 3. Hori Hori Knife. Alright, prepare to meet your new favorite tool even if you've never heard of it before. This is the Hori Hori Knife, and many gardeners consider it the ultimate multi-tool. This one was just under $10. Hori Hori is Japanese for dig, and trust me, it does way more than that. It's part knife, part trowel, part saw, a 3-in-1 beast. One edge is serrated for sawing through tough roots or opening bags of mulch, and the other is a sharp, straight blade. The scooped blade lets you dig and move soil just like a trowel, and the measurement markings are a lifesaver for planting bulbs. You can use this one tool to transplant, saw through roots, divide plants, and weed with deadly precision. Its versatility is what makes it a budget gardening hero. It does the job of 3 other tools. So, for our test, we staged a little race. We've got a tough, root-filled patch of weeds. First, I'll tackle it with just the Hori Hori. Then, I'll try the same spot with a separate trowel, weeder, and saw. It's not even a fair fight. The Hori Hori wins by a mile. Being able to go from digging to sawing a root to slicing a weed without swapping tools is just so efficient. An old butter knife can't even begin to compete. This tool is a game changer. Number 4. Mini Cultivator Hand Fork. Our 4th tool is a mini cultivator, or as you'll probably call it, a hand fork. This 3-pronged wonder costs about $7, and it's your soil's best friend. Its main job is to break up and aerate compacted soil, which is just a way of saying it makes it easier for water, air, and nutrients to get down to your plant's roots. This is super important in raised beds and pots where soil tends to get packed down, but that's not all. A hand fork is amazing for pulling out clumps of weeds, roots, and all. Way better than just scraping the surface. It also works as a mini rake to smooth out soil after you've planted, or to mix in a little fertilizer or compost. For this test, I have a pot with some dense, sad-looking soil. Before, it's hard as a rock, I can barely press my finger into it. After just a minute of fluffing it up with the hand fork, the soil is light, crumbly, and looks 100 times healthier. A kitchen fork can do this in a tiny pot, but the strong tines and solid handle of a real cultivator are what you need for any real gardening. It's a simple tool that makes a world of difference. Number 5. Stirrup Hoe weeding. Nobody loves it, but our 5th tool makes it surprisingly quick and, dare I say, satisfying. This is a handheld stirrup hoe, and I found it for around $9. Unlike a regular hoe you have to chop with, this one has a sharp, wiggling blade that works just below the surface. You just use a simple push-pull motion, and it slices the roots off young weeds. This thing is a total back saver. It's so efficient you can clear a whole area without constantly bending over and kneeling. It's perfect for weeding between rows in your veggie patch or prepping a bed for new seeds. It's at its best when you catch the weeds while they're young and haven't set deep roots. Honestly, this is one of the most underrated tools for a beginner. We had a little fun with this one and set up a challenge. Take out 50 little weeds in under a minute. Sounds crazy, right? But with the stirrup hoe, it's totally possible. The push-pull motion is so fast and smooth. It just glides under the soil, and poof, the weeds are gone. It's way less work than pulling them by hand. This is the secret to keeping your garden beds clean with minimal effort. Hey, if you're getting some good ideas and feeling ready to build your own garden toolkit, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We put out new videos every week with simple tips to help you grow a great garden without the stress. Number 6. Nitrile Gardening Gloves. Alright, number 6 isn't a tool in the classic sense, but it's completely essential. A good pair of gardening gloves. This pair of nitrile coated gloves cost me about $6. Gardening is an amazing hobby, but it's rough on your hands. We're talking thorns, blisters, splinters, and dirt that lives under your fingernails for a week. These nitrile gloves are perfect for beginners. The coating gives you a fantastic grip on tools and soil, even when they're wet, but they're thin enough that you can still feel what you're doing. That's so important when you're handling tiny seeds or delicate little seedlings. They protect your hands without feeling like you're wearing bulky winter mittens. Plus, most of them are machine washable, which is a huge win. For our test, I'm going to transplant a muddy little seedling. Bare-handed, my hands are instantly covered in mud, and it's hard to handle the plant gently. With the nitrile gloves on, my hands stay clean. I don't have to worry about what's in the soil, and the textured grip gives me total confidence. You could wrap your hands in old plastic bags, but they'll just tear and be clumsy. A $6 pair of gloves makes the whole experience so much more comfortable. 7. Watering Can Sprayer Nozzle. Watering is one of the trickiest things for new gardeners to get right. This little gadget, a gentle sprayer nozzle, is the solution. I found this one for just $5. A big watering can is great for your bigger, tougher plants, but that heavy stream can wash away seeds or just flatten your fragile little seedlings in an instant. This nozzle creates a soft, gentle shower, kind of like rain, that waters your delicate plants without knocking them over. It gives you precise control and helps you avoid overwatering, which is probably the #1 cause of death for beginner plants. This is perfect for starting seeds or watering small pots, where a big hose would be completely unnecessary. For our test, it's mist versus hose. I've got 2 trays of brand new lettuce seedlings. Watering one with a regular hose, even on a gentle setting, immediately flattens some of them. But the other tray, watered with our little nozzle, gets a perfect, even drink, and all the seedlings stay standing tall. The difference is night and day. A simple spray bottle from your house is a great free alternative, but this nozzle gives you a wider, more even spray. 8. Garden markers. Our 8th tool is one you won't think you need, until it's way too late. Garden markers. This whole set cost about $7. When you first plant your seeds, you swear you'll remember what you put where. But a few weeks later, when little green things start popping up, it's amazing how fast you forget. Is that the carrots or is it parsley? Are those the wildflowers I planted or just weeds? Trust me, good labels solve all of that drama. A simple waterproof labeling system stops you from pulling up your prize-winning zinnias and helps you remember who needs what kind of care. I like these wooden ones with a pencil because marker ink on plastic or a popsicle stick tends to fade and wash away. A pencil mark on wood, though, that'll stick around all season. The test here is more of a cautionary tale. The "what did I plant" reveal. I have 2 pots from a month ago. One is clearly labeled basil, and it's doing great. The other is a mystery pot. There are sprouts, but I honestly have no idea if it's the dill I think I planted or just some random weed. Labeling takes all the guesswork out of it. Popsicle sticks work for a little while, but a few bucks for weatherproof markers is a smart investment. Number 9. Garden twine. Next up, a simple roll of garden twine, a true garden helper. This huge 100-foot roll was only $4. As your plants start getting bigger, some of them, especially climbers like tomatoes, cucumbers, and beans, are going to need some support. If you just let them flop over and crawl on the ground, they're way more likely to get eaten by pests or develop diseases. Garden twine is perfect for gently tying plants to stakes or trellises. It's strong enough to hold them up, but soft enough that it won't cut into their stems as they grow and thicken. You can also use it to build cool support systems for your peppers or a whole row of tomatoes. Our test is a simple demonstration of collapse versus support. I have 2 young tomato plants. One is already starting to get top heavy and droop. For the other one, we'll just gently tie it to a bamboo stake with our twine. This one simple move keeps the plant growing straight up, which means better airflow and more sun on the leaves. That means a healthier plant and way more tomatoes for you. You could use dental floss if you're desperate, but it's so thin it can easily hurt the plant. Garden twine is made for this. Number 10. Sharpening Stone. Our final tool is the one that takes care of all the others. A small sharpening stone. I found this pocket-sized one for about $8. Here's the thing. Your digging and cutting tools, your trowel, your hori hori, your pruners are going to get dull. It's inevitable. A dull blade means you have to work way harder, which wears you out, and it can damage your plants by crushing stems instead of cutting them cleanly. A sharpening stone is how you keep your tools working like new. Spending just a couple of minutes sharpening the edges will make them work so much better and last so much longer. It makes digging feel easier, and sharp pruners lead to healthier plants. For our last test, we're doing dull versus sharp. I'm going to try and cut this tough plant stem first with a pair of pruners I intentionally dulled down, and then with the same pair after a quick sharpening. The dull blade just chews and tears at the stem, but the sharpened blade, it glides right through with a clean, satisfying snip. This little stone protects all the other tools you just bought. And there you have it. 10 essential gardening tools that will get you well on your way for a grand total of about $75. We've proven that you absolutely do not need to spend a fortune to start a fantastic garden. From the workhorse hand trowel to the secret weapon Hori Hori Knife, every tool on this list earns its spot and gives you incredible value. The most important thing to remember is that gardening should be fun and rewarding, not expensive and overwhelming. Start with these basics, build your confidence, and you can always add more specialized tools down the road as you figure out what you love to grow. Now I want to hear from you. What's your number one can't live without gardening tool that doesn't break the bank? Did I miss one of your favorites? Drop a comment below and let's talk. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.